Hey, everybody. It is so good to see each and every one of y'all today. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Excited for today's story. I always love your submitted stories and uh, can't wait to share this with y'all. And let's see who we got visiting with us tonight. Miss Nisi, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in, and special welcome to Dixie After Dark. Thank you so much for coming, brother. Appreciate it. And John, it's good to see you. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Miss Rachel, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. Good to see you. And Daryl, thank you so much for coming in. Really good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank everybody for coming in tonight. Hopefully, everybody had a fantastic day and got to enjoy Mother's Day Sunday. That was fun. Of course, I had to work, but got off of work and cooked lunch and spent the day at home. Just had a good day, and hopefully everybody else got that opportunity as well. Let's see. Welcome in, Tarsha. It's so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. Welcome. If you guys don't know who this channel is, y'all need to go check it out. He does some really good videos, and you don't want to miss them. There's some fine stuff over there. So tonight's story was going to be pretty neat. It's a history, and it kind of is like a genealogy, almost like. But we'll dig into that in just a little while. Let a few folks come in here. I was actually intending on doing another garden update. I think it's been 2 weeks since we last did a garden update, and the corn's probably this tall now, and we got beans popping up, and since then we planted some strawberries, and we got to plant some let's see, cucumbers, got some okra in the ground, and got some pepper plants over here need to go in the ground now, but it's just been raining almost every single day. It's rained pretty much every day since last week. It's not really stopped. Now, so far today, we hadn't had any rain, but we're supposed to. But I was hoping to maybe tomorrow or something, if it'll ground will dry up a little bit, maybe be able to go get in the garden. Oh, well, thank you. Always enjoy getting to see you folks and spend a little time with you, and really enjoying the garden too, though. I know it's a lot of work, but I personally cannot wait to dig in to some of that good old eating. So, which is my favorite part, getting to pick some corn and green beans, whatever we got out there, and go eat on it. Boy, some good stuff. And plus, you don't have to go pay for it because it's already out there in the garden. You know, expensive as stuff is today. But I'm going to start off the story with a photo, and then I'll get me off the screen. But tonight's story was submitted by none other than Miss Jana Petty. She was visiting the cemetery where her family's buried. I'm sure with it being this time of year, it's probably decoration, but she found this old stone that has the birth date from 1700s and death date of the 1861. And she was interested, and she done some research and thought we would be interested and shared it. So I'm going to share it with y'all. But Let's welcome in Scully. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for coming in. But this is the photo that she shared. It's Andrew and Elizabeth Morton. And she dug up his story, and we're going to see uh, what it is. So let's get me off of here, and let's see what she says. And her email reads, I was visiting the cemetery where my family is buried. I found this headstone and decided to look up what I could find on Mr. Morton and his life. I thought you might be interested in it. Let's see. Welcome in, Native Wild Man. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Andrew Morton was the son of William Lewis and Elizabeth Ann Cochran. He was born September the 21st, 1797 in South Carolina. He traveled with his parents through Mississippi, Virginia, and Alabama, and finally to Arkansas about 1835. At 17 years of age, he married Elizabeth Lucinda Larimore in Arkansas. They would settle in Lee's Creek or Natural Dam about 1838. Mr. Morton would file a claim on 80 acres of land that year and another 40 acres in 1840. And he would also acquire even 80 more acres in 1844. And by 1848, he would file his claim on the last 40 acres. It says, my personal thoughts are that he bought out other people's claims, but couldn't find anything to prove that. But in 1850, he would show up on slave census as owning one person, and again in 1860 as owning two, a male and a female, 39 and age 35. They were probably a married couple. The Mortons would have 6 children, and he would continue farming his 340 acres of land. He would also become postmaster there in Natural Dam on October the 12th, 1860. But sadly, 1 year later, on October the 18th, 1861, he would pass. His wife Elizabeth would travel over the next 17 years to homes of various family members in the East, and then would be placed next to him after her death, February 1878. Let's see. Welcome in, Susan. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome. And I want to say a special thank you to Miss Jana on that. That was a really neat story. I mean, she found an old gravestone and found lots of information about the man from his birth all the way to his death, and then to find out he traveled right here through where I'm at. That's really neat. A lot of people travel through these mountains here in Alabama, usually heading out west somewhere. But if you guys happen to have a story that you would like to share, you can send it to that email address right there, just as Jana did. And we'll either feature it live like we did this one, or we can make a whole entire video about it. Whichever way works. I thought this one was a pretty good story to share with you guys live. And good to see you, Miss Marion. Thank you so much for coming in. It's always good to see you, and welcome to you. think I'm gonna see if I can't hunt us up a couple of other stories here that we can get into. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's good to see everybody tonight. I appreciate y'all coming in. Let's see. This one, if I can find it again, there it is. This little story is called My Uncle's Spirit. And it says, ever since I was 10 years old, my cousins always would tell me about ghosts that live in the attic and in the basement. I always thought they were playing around, but 13 years later, I returned to their house. Let's see, we were all talking about the good old days growing up. My uncle started to talk about the ghosts that are still living there. I was surprised since I thought they were just stories made up, but he assured me they were very real. My uncle said they were not just one, but 4 ghosts living in the house. There was an old lady that will only appear in the attic, and an old man that would only appear in the attic and the basement. A small boy about 5 years old would appear all over the house and the backyard. And there was a young man that appeared recently in the basement. My uncle and aunt were remodeling the attic, and while cleaning it out, they found strange things. Old newspapers that were very well hidden in the attic, like someone was hiding them. Let's see. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. It says, found an old coach wallet that had pieces of paper and human hair and strange pieces of metal in it. The strangest thing that they found was something that looked like birds' wings, but were too large to be of a bird. They found in the basement were books on how to rid ghosts and some bags of powder. That's what they tell me to look like as an Indian bag. What they tell is true, but I don't know if it is the truth. Also, they say when they really see the boy around the house playing and jumping on the tables and running around, but one of my nieces come over. But when one of my nieces come over, the little boy disappears. Can you tell me why the boy disappears only when the girls are around? They always talk about ghosts. The ghosts never bothering them, just that at times they scare them. Can you tell me what kind of advice should I give them at all? How to get rid of ghosts? Let's see. Thank you for that, Nisi. I appreciate that. That one's strange. You imagine going in and visiting your family and going in the attic for something and seeing an old lady or an old man, or going down in the basement seeing a young girl or a young boy or young man, or seeing a little boy running through the house, but when the girls are around, he just disappears like he's scared of them. I think that would creep me out. Let's see. This one right here is titled My Grandpa's Farm. Let's see. When my grandfather and grandmother were just married around the early 1900s, they lived on a farm in Kentucky. The farm, it seems, housed more than normal farm animals. At night, in the attic, you could hear large pieces of furniture being moved back and forth across the floor. Needless to say, the folks wouldn't bother to check it until daylight, for they were scared. But when they did, nothing at all was in the attic. It was completely empty. On the back of the house, there was a wood pile where all the wood for the heating and cooking was split and stacked. Very late at night, you could hear something or someone out there chopping wood. In the morning, grandfather's axe was in the exact same spot where he had left it the day before. Not a single stick of wood was out of place. Hey, Phillips, good to see you. Thanks so much. Oops. Little bag seems interesting. Any idea where this took place? No, they didn't tell. Don't really tell a lot of where these places are. I'm sure it's just to keep it somewhat private, I guess. But makes you wonder if maybe the place might have been like an old Indian burial ground or something, especially with those the large wings that they found, because a lot of Native Americans use those, like when smudging. You like some sage on fire, and then you would use those little wings to spread that the smoke around. But I don't know. It's very interesting. Let's see. One night my grandfather felt brave. This courage brought on by some homemade moonshine. So when he heard the commotion at the woodpile, he stood at the porch and yelled out, "Chop, you SOB, chop." Well, apparently the thing heard him and began to chop faster and faster, to the point where it was chopping at an inhuman rate of speed. My grandfather hightailed it in the house and grabbed a shotgun and sat up, scared out of his wits for the rest of the night. It goes without saying, my grandfather never teased it or them ever again. While they lived there, which wasn't very long, only my grandfather and grandmother lived on that farm. And at the time, they had no children nor hired hands working on the farm. So, let's see. Welcome in, Handicrafted by Jackie. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. But that's creepy. You imagine that? Be trying to sleep and hear chairs and furniture sliding across the attic, but when you go up there, it's just an empty loft. And then hearing the sounds of chopping wood and pieces of wood flying all over. Who knows? Cops, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Always good to see you. But grandfather learned a very useful piece of information that night. You don't tease a spirit, because it never turns out well for you. Something always goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. Let's see. I think I'm going to read this one more story, and then we'll let y'all go for the night. Right. I think he definitely learned his lesson, hopefully. Welcome in, Carolyn. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Hey, Dewey, Appalachia storyteller. Let's see. All righty. Oh, I think I'm going to end this one with a personal story that my dad told me. I've told this one kind of before, but it's been a long time ago. But I think I don't remember who did the story lately, but of course I know Dixie After Dark's done it, but old Green Eyes, the resident ghost there at Chickamauga Battlefield. It's in Georgia. Some of one of the most bloodiest battles to ever take place in Georgia happened right there. And the place, I mean, there's soldiers on the march and stuff constantly. And when I was a kid, I don't know, me and my brother were probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 years old. Thank you so much for coming in. You have a good night. But it was mom and dad's anniversary, and they wanted to, they didn't have a lot of money to go off to the beach or Florida or something, but they wanted to just, go to South Pittsburgh, which is, it's only an hour's drive, 45 minutes from us. And they just wanted to rent them a hotel and spend the night and go visit the battlefield and go to the Lodge Factory, things like that. Just something cheap. They didn't have a lot of money, but, well, they did. And mom and dad was kind of exploring the battlefield, and they was sitting out on a hillside there, just kind of sitting under a tree, just, enjoying the day and the cool breeze and getting out of the sun for a minute. And Dad was looking out across the wheat field, and he said, "Wow, look at that." It was a full regiment of Confederate soldiers. Hold on just a minute. Do we know if Appalachia storyteller is good or bad? I don't know. I think he may be under the weather or something. I think I have his email. I'll try. If I can't get a hold to him, Jared will. Somebody to check in on him. Make sure he's doing all right. Oh, JD's a good feller, so hopefully he's doing good anyway. We'll find out if we can. But Dad looked out across that field, and there was an entire regiment of Confederate soldiers on the march in formation going across the field, and then they went on into the woods and disappeared. And on the way out, Mom and Dad stopped in the visitor center and walked around and explored inside of there. And when they went to leave, my dad was, the lady up at the front desk, he said, "Oh my goodness, I just loved the reenactment that y'all did." I said, "Those soldiers were dressed to the T in there." They're like, "Sir, we don't do reenactments here." Or maybe during school time, for a field trip. Just want to, but we don't do those. And he said, "Well, there was an entire regiment of soldiers out there." And she's like, "Oh, that," and she told him the exact regiment it was and said that those are their resident soldiers that go marching all the time, but they're no longer alive. Let's see. OJD's a dang good feller. He does some fine stories. If you guys don't know who the Appalachian storyteller is, y'all need to go see him too, because he does a lot of stories from Kentucky and some of the early founders. He's got all kinds of awesome videos, and he writes the stories, and the music for the channel he does himself, because he's actually a music professor. But he also has 3 books out too. He's an author, and they're really good, which I actually have one of his books that he signed and sent to me not long ago. Yep, that's right, J.D. Phillips. The Appalachian Storyteller. If you just go in your search bar on YouTube and pull that up, you'll see it. His daughter has a channel. It's kind of theirs together. I can't think of what the name of it is either. It's similar to the same name, but she does some narrating with him on it, and it's good stuff. It puts mine to shame, I know that. He's fantastic and been doing this stuff for years, and he's got like 250,000 subscribers or something like that. Really good channel. So there's some really good channels in here tonight that I saw. Like I said, Dixie After Dark is fantastic, and Cops is a really good channel, and Scully, he's a really good channel. He does live readings, and kind of like we did in school, where you got multiple people reading parts. On his channel, it's really, really good. Sean here, Native Wildman, you can watch him do some live fishing and all kind of stuff. Yep, Daryl's right. He's also a historian. Check out every one of his stories. They're really awesome. But see, the Appalachian Storyteller, Donnie Laws, that's another good one. Celebrating Appalachia. Those 3 were some of the bigger channels that started the whole Appalachian movement. And then Jared King TV joined in, and oh man, his is fantastic. And Keeping Appalachia, he does a fantastic job. And Jimmy over there at Spooky Appalachia, he does a really good job. And Cody's Imaginary Appalachia, I believe the name of his, is so good. And Alligator Horse channel, he does some good stuff too. We all kind of do our own thing, all celebrating and keeping the Appalachian history alive. So I've been kind of, finding what I can get into, share what kind of history that I can find that not everybody else has done, which is kind of hard to find, sometimes, but long lost history is around us everywhere. So, well, thank you. I don't think I'm as good as them, but I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to call Jared in a little while and see if he can, or shoot him a message or something, see if get us an update on all those folks, because Herbert was in bad shape and Cody was in the hospital and JD was he was pretty sick there too, and so was Donnie. So hopefully everybody's doing good now. I know it's a rough time right now, but put me back on here. But I thank y'all for coming out tonight and sitting with me and having a good time listening to the stories. I'm in the process of working on the volume 2 of our historic Appalachian photos. It should be up Saturday. I'm trying my best to finish it, but thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. I really do. Got some really neat photographs in there. I actually went just the other day and bought more photos. Went back, and the little consignment shop that I was in, my wife's little brother and his girlfriend had never been there, and we were just kind of walking around, and I went over and checked, and they had brought in more photos, and I picked through them and bought a few. And welcome in, Tammy. It's good to see you. Thanks so much. I have no idea how Cody is. I'm going to have to see if I can get a hold of somebody and find out. Hopefully everybody's doing good now, but find out. I think JD may be under the weather or something, or he could be kind of, with it getting close to the end of school, spending time with his kids and stuff too, because summer's coming up, and sometimes we need a little break, and he could be doing that, or could have some health issues. But if I can find out, I will, because we always worry about our brothers and sisters here. My little one, Hope, we went back to the doctor and they adjusted her medicine, and so far it's really helped her situation out a little bit. Her sugar's not been as high, and we go next week for her insulin pump. She'll be on the insulin pump next week, so that'll help her even more. And so far, it's rained every single day. And I thought, that garden, everything's going to be dead or flood. Everything's doing so good right now. The cabbages finally started heading up, and the potato plants has got buds on them. They're waist high. I mean, everything looks good. Tomato plants is doing good. Everything looks good. The corn, like I said, it's up about that tall. Maybe if everything goes all right, and I'm able to do it, I may go do a next week live stream from over there and do a garden update. Walk around and check out what's coming up and what's not, and what we still got to plant yet. And yes, that Hope, my daughter, is on the Dexcom G7. That thing is a lifesaver. Sometimes we have to do both, but yeah, he did. He put that Brushy Mountain video out. That was really awesome. That was a good video, and creepy too. He had a couple of experiences there while visiting there at Brushy Mountain. But what I'm, you know what's such a shame is how many little ones are becoming diabetics now. And it's nothing to do with, it's not that they're eating terribly or whatever. It's literally the food that's doing it to them. My daughter was born, and I believe Carolyn's was too, with like an immune disorder that the immune system attacked the body and destroyed the pancreas. And my daughter's thyroid too, hers is non-functioning, but they give medications for that to help with that. And the insulin helps keep the sugars under control, which she's doing fantastically right now. But oh me. And, you have a good night, brother. Thank you so much for coming in. It's always good to see you. But I'm going to have to get down off of here and get her nightly stuffs going. Let's see. His son's girlfriend just got on the pump and loves it. Helps her out a ton. I'm sure it does, because it's it helps, especially when you're out in the public. You're not having to draw up and put in your arm to eat. You can just punch it in, and then it gives you a little more freedom about going places too. But yeah, I've noticed that too. Our food is so just crazy. And a lot of her doctors, she can pretty much eat whatever she wants to, just, portion it. But I want to thank y'all for coming in tonight. Spend a little time together and have a good time. And as you say your prayers, just remember everybody. Y'all are Appalachian brothers and sisters on here. And we appreciate y'all. And like I said, we'll have that video out Saturday of the Volume 2, the historical Appalachian photos. And I guess, like I said, we'll have a live stream next Wednesday if everything's going all right. And like I said, it's good to see y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. And until next Wednesday, I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.